Today I wanted to read to you the first chapter of my book, Suffering and Comfort, How Owning Your Choices Will Set You Free. Chapter 1. Why? Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. Dr. Seuss. No one told me, but somehow I knew. He was dead. And the voice in my head was screaming. He killed himself. I remember saying just those words to a friend that morning. In that moment, I was struggling to make a decision, to choose the right thing to do. Do I go at lunch to find his body, or do I wait until after work? This was a defining moment for me. Instinctively, I knew my lover, my best friend, my companion, had taken his life, just as I knew that the sun was shining bright on that cool March day. Deciding on the time to find his body was the first of many choices I had to make in my new life without him. We all have our stories. It is about how we own the choices in those stories that matter. You might think that this book is about suicide, but it's not. Suicide is just the event that happened to me. It's an event much like any other that may have happened to you, whether it's divorce, job loss, a promotion, an award won, or even the birth of a child. Suddenly, you have important choices to make. Choices on what happens next in your story. Our choices, big like mine that day, and small, define us. What kind of life story we have is all about how we own the choices we make. Yes, that day changed me forever. It was during this time of grief, of feeling that I had been rejected and left because I was not good enough to keep my lover alive, that I became aware of what was really happening. My thoughts and my feelings around these thoughts would determine my choices. There would have been a certain comfort in choosing to die with him. That could have taken the form of my own suicide, which I seriously considered. Or living into the story of the woman whose lover killed himself, an object of pity, and one from whom no one expected too much. I did choose this for a while. Or the best choice for me at the time, to take back control of my thoughts and begin to live again. You can guess which one I chose. I'm betting that you picked up this book because you understand what I'm talking about, that our choices define us. Our choices determine whom we become. This awareness of our choices gives us an opportunity. It allows us to become more than we ever thought we could be, our best self. Or we can choose to stay stuck in our suffering and our past stories of regret, loss, lack, or unworthiness, whatever that may be for you. Imagine for a moment that for a moment you could be that famous phoenix rising out of the ashes to live again, to choose thoughts that empower you instead of the negative ones you have had in the past, to see the impact that your thoughts have on how you behave and change this to better support you, to know the process of what to do next. Our choices define us. Our choices determine who we become. That is what this book will do for you. Give you the 4 simple steps to making and owning your choices. Become aware. Understand the impact. Take the next step and step into greatness. This is how you don't let your butts stop you. That is what I want for you. To be able to live the life you were meant to, and not be controlled by your emotions and your self-deprecating thoughts, or more importantly, by your past, your history, the story that you have chosen to determine your life until now. There's a quote hanging in my office that I choose to live by every day. It is not what happens to you, but what you do with what happens to you that matters. Let me help you to make your life matter to you and to everyone around you. Taking the steps needed to move forward toward a new you are the reason for this book. If you do the work, then it will work for you. As Maya Angelou states, there is no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside you. That's chapter 1 of my book, Suffering and Comfort, How Owning Your Choices Will Set You Free. And as I stated, in this book, you can become aware that your stories are just that, a story, and they do not have to control your future. Begin the transformational process of understanding the impact your choices have in your life. And then take that next step by taming your fear through my own signature process of ROAR, R-O-A-R. And then step into greatness toward a new you and a new story for your life. Make a choice. Own that choice. Or better yet, change it to a new one. One choice can change you.